Hello, everyone. This is Phoenix Tremaine, and today I'm going to be doing something new. I'm calling this my soap opera report card. At the beginning of the year, I started to do a best and worst of 2023, but then I said to myself, who cares about 2023? It's 2024 now. And why not focus on, instead of the past, what's happened to the soaps in the past? Let's focus on what's going on in our soaps right now. And I'm going to grade it. And if this video does well, I'll keep doing these videos, and I think the best time to do it would be at the end of each sweeps month, because that's sort of like the culmination of the storylines, from sweeps month to sweep month. So the next one would be May sweeps. Because I didn't do a 2023 best and worst of, I decided I'm just going to go ahead and kick off February sweeps with my report card of how I feel about the shows so far. I will be doing it for all 4 soaps. I'm beginning with General Hospital because right now, that is the most popular soap on my channel. And so I also wanted you to know that in the description box, I'm going to put the outline that I used to create this video. So all of the categories and everything that I'm doing now, I will have an outline in the description box. All you have to do is copy and paste into the comment section and then just fill in what you would have decided for each category, and let all the soap fans watching be able to go to the comment section and see what you would have done as a soap report card, because we're not going to agree on everything because we're soap fans, and there's going to be some soap fans that love this person over here and other people that love that person over there, and they'd be online battling out all the time. So if you're not happy with my soap report card, go on ahead and do your own in the comment section, and let us all see what you would have done as your General Hospital soap report card. And before I get started, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. These 4 things are free. They help out the channel a lot, and it will give me the encouragement I need to go ahead and make sure in May I continue this trend of the soap opera report card. Whether our show goes up or down on a report card, we'll have to see. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do what needs to be done, and I'm going to begin with the very first category, which is MVP male. If you don't know what MVP means, it means most valuable player. So which male on the show is the most valuable player? And I think it's obvious who the most valuable player is. And that's Maurice Bernard, who plays Sonny Corinthos. He is, for all intents and purposes, the main focus of a lot of the storylines, and a lot of reason why so many people watch is because they love Sonny. I know some of you don't like Sonny, but he is, to me, the MVP of the show. Now, this is the controversial one, the one that's going to have people mad at me. Well, some of y'all are going to agree with me, but the MVP female, who is the most valuable female player on the show right now? And that would be, in my opinion, Cynthia Waitrose, who plays Nina Reeves. Now, I know some of you out there that fell out the chairs and lost your mind over me saying Nina and not Carly and all whatever. Listen, Carly used to be my favorite character on the show. She used to be the character that I watched for. She kept me watching the show. Sarah Brown, Tamara Braun, and Jennifer Bradford gets, or Branson, whatever her name is, she gets an honorable mention, even though a lot of people want to pretend she was never a Carly. And Laura Wright, she also has done a good job as Carly, but the writing for the character has been trash for years. So I cannot say Carly in good faith, because now I'm rooting for Cynthia. Because Cynthia, in my opinion, is the new Carly. Everything that Carly used to do, that's what Nina does now. So, and just like Carly had a Jason, Nina has Valentine. If you think about, I thought about doing a video on this. If you think about it, Nina is the new Carly. They write for Nina the way they would normally write for Carly in the past, which is why I love her now. But she's my MVP. Moving on. Most valuable player male in a supporting role. That to me would be Nicholas Alexander Chavez, who plays Spencer Cassadine. He is an amazing actor. Hopefully he doesn't leave the show. Once actors start looking for outside work, like he's doing that Netflix show Monster, and he's got the talent. I hope he decides to stick around when his contract is over, because we love us some Spencer on General Hospital. Most valuable player female supporting. Now, there's two in this category, because and when you do your own soap opera report card, remember you can put more than one person in a category. To me, MVP should not be multiple people, because it's the most valuable player, not most valuable players. But I was talking on my live Zoom with the members, and they let me know I had to add somebody to the most valuable player female, and I could not disagree. So thank you, members, for helping me come up with the second person. But the first person for best female supporting MVP would of course be Maura West as Ava Jerome. Now, if she actually had a good storyline right now, one that really focused on her, then she probably would have beat Cynthia Waitrose out as MVP female, because we know Maura West can act like she's a great actress, okay? But they've been writing her like she's a supporting character, so I put her in the most valuable player female supporting. Second, the ones the members added, they said you cannot skip Jane Elliott as Tracy Quartermaine. And I could. Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, she is amazing as well. And every scene she is in, just like Maura, is a master class in acting, and is reason why we watch soaps. So I want to say congratulations to Maura West and Ava Jerome as Ava Jerome, and Jane Elliott as Tracy Quartermaine. The two of those actors are truly MVPs. Now we're going to move on to most underused male. Once again, I had two people in this category, and once again, the members during our live said, no, there's somebody else you got to add. And I could not disagree, but because he's so underused, I didn't even think about him, but I think it all the time that they need to do more with him. But we'll get to him third. But the first most underused male to me is Donnell Turner, who plays Curtis Ashford. He had a whole storyline where he couldn't walk, and we barely saw anything from it. This is what usually writing wise people get Emmys for. It was like an afterthought. They didn't really want to write for him. They don't really want to write for any of the diverse characters, but we'll get to that later. But I don't like it. The second person is Taj Bello, who plays TJ Ashford. Now, the original TJ got plenty of screen time, had great storylines. The new TJ, all he does is whine about making Molly happy. Even when he disagrees with her, he's mad. By the next episode, he's simping away. He is just like, he has no backbone. He has nothing. I don't even really feel like he has his own storyline. And this whole surrogacy storyline, that whole thing, they can throw that in the trash. But I really wish they would give Taj Bello, who plays TJ Ashford, a real storyline. John Lindstrom is the one that the members said you cannot leave out of this category, and I agree. John Lindstrom, who plays Calvin Collins, is the MVP of underused males. Whenever you give this man a good storyline, a good scenes, he always knocks it out the park. He is another actor that gives you another masterclass in acting, just like Maurice and Cynthia and Nicholas and Maura and Jane and of course Laura, Jeannie Francis, and plus there's so many more actors that just gives us a masterclass in acting on the show that I really love to see all of them on screen. And I definitely love to see John Lindstrom on the screen. So I would like to thank the members once again for letting me know, do not leave John Lindstrom out of this most underused category. Moving on to most underused female. Now, there are 4 females in this category, and the members also agree with me that I was right in this one. They didn't add anybody, although there's plenty of underused characters on this. So we're going to start with the number 1 most underused character, in my opinion, Tanisha Harper, who plays Jordan Ashford. Why is Jordan even on the show? She's like a glorified extra. And she's beautiful, she's talented, and she is barely used. Sometimes she's gone for weeks at a time. Like, oh yeah, Jordan's still on the show. So yeah, they really need to do a lot more with Jordan. Kelly Monaco, who plays Sam McCall. Kelly is definitely underused on the show. We barely get to see Sam and Dante's relationship. So, and I don't have to say it. You watch the show, you know that, Sam used to be a major character and now, she's barely in it. Kirsten Storms, who plays Maxie Jones. I love Maxie. To me, even though, she had her other crazy love interests, ever since Nathan passed away, I feel like stories for Maxie have been just going downhill from there. And I really want them to do something great with Maxie, because I think Kirsten's a great actress. And I don't feel like the show is treating her right as far as wardrobe and storylines and love interest. I think they can do better with Maxie. Last is Nancy Lee Grahn as Alexis Davis. Alexis used to be a major power player on the show, but most of the time she's just sitting behind the desk talking to Gregory. She's not even a lawyer anymore. She runs a newspaper when nobody really cares about newspapers. And it's just, she don't have a love interest. She don't have nothing. Alexis is just there. Nancy's just collecting a paycheck, which is sad because she really is a good actress and she deserves better storylines than what she's getting. She needs to be in a full-fledged story. Moving on to worst character male. Okay, let's talk about it. Because on All My Children, I love me some Ron Lavery. I even love Cameron Matheson with Allison Sweeney on their show that they have on, I think it's Lifetime. I don't want to say the name of the show because of certain words on YouTube shouldn't be said. So I am a fan of Cameron Matheson. I am not a fan of Cameron Matheson as Drew Kane. And I honestly believe it's not his fault. He's a good actor. Like I said, I love him in other roles. I love him definitely with the movies he does with Allison Sweeney. I was a huge fan of Ron Lavery, but especially now that Jason's coming back, they're doing the same thing they did to him that they did to Billy Miller. They started deconstructing Drew because Drew was basically a replacement for Jason. And eventually it was revealed to be Jason before Steve decided to come back from Young Restless. And then they went on ahead and said, oh, no, he's not really Jason. He's actually a twin. And then they just started dismantling the character so they could prop up Jason. So now I feel like they're doing the same exact thing with Cameron because they've made Drew a seriously unlikable character, in my opinion. Worst character female. Now, I did have someone in this category, and I think the members kind of sort of agreed with me. Nobody was really vocal about agreeing with me. And when I really, really thought about it, and I really thought about worst character female, I realized that, and happens with a couple other categories, that the only thing I could put in this category wasn't the person I named, because I don't feel like it's more the writing, not the actress. So I put none. Because I didn't feel right with naming the actress that I named, but feel free in the comment section to put who you would have put for worst character female, and maybe you'll figure out who I chose. But I said, I'm not going to do that because I don't feel like it's her fault. So I'm not going to throw her under the bus. Now, most improved character. Let's go back to being positive about the show. Most improved character, Tabyana Ali as Trina Robinson. I probably complained about Trina for 2 years straight. That, every guy she was in love with or wanted dismissed her for Joss. She was just like a character that, they just didn't want to give a strong romantic relationship, which is what soaps are made for. And I felt like they just kept pigeonholing her, no matter how great Sydney Michaela was as the original Trina Robinson. Her star shined so brightly, but they wouldn't let her be great. Now Tabyana Ali had a rough start, but now she is Trina, and I love her character. And I used to say when I saw the new Trina, Tabyana Ali, on like her Instagram and Twitter and stuff, I'm like, she's so vibrant, she's so energetic, she looks like a really cool person. And I guess it was her nervousness at the beginning, replacing somebody who was so popular. But now those qualities I saw on social media, I'm now seeing, on the show. And I think she is the most improved character. We're going to move on to best couple. Once again, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with this. A lot of you are going to agree with this. But the people that I decided were the best couple, in my opinion, Sonny and Nina. I love me some Sonny and Nina. I know some of you have other couples that you love more, and some of you will agree with me. I think a lot of the members agreed with me once I started saying why I love Sonny and Nina. And I think right now they're going through a rough patch, just like Maurice has said in an interview, like in December. Like, this is a rough patch, just like him and Carly had many rough patches. They were divorced 5 times. So this is just another rough patch. It happens on soaps. And I feel like Sonny and Nina will eventually get back together, probably later down the road, not sooner, but later down the road. But for me, the best couple is Sonny and Nina. The worst couple. Now, I was shocked when we were on our Members Live and nobody picked this couple, even though we complain about them almost every single week. Nobody thought about it until I just finally had to say, they were just naming couple. I was like, I had to stop them. I was like, Michael and Willow. Why? When you think worst couple at your hospital, why isn't Michael and Willow the first person that comes to your mind? Because we complain about them almost every single week in the lives that we do on our Zooms. Yeah, Michael and Willow, worst couple. Best villain male, another shocker on our live Zoom that no one picked this person. It's like they forgot about him. But as soon as I said his name, everybody instantly agreed. The best male villain on the show is Jeff Kober, who plays Cyrus Renault. Yes, right now, whenever Cyrus decides to let his evil side out, even just a little bit, everybody is sent to chills. Like, wow, he did that. So yeah, but they can't make Cyrus just be super, super evil, super, super bad, because they don't want to shorten his longevity on the show, which confuses me by the person I picked for best villain female, because I'm like, after today's episode and the past week this happened, I don't know how they're going to redeem this character enough for her not to be in jail. Now, now I don't know if who you think is the best villain female. Some of y'all might say Lucy, you know, but or maybe even Carly. But best villain female is Avery Pohl, who plays Esme Prince. I know a lot of people spend a lot of time type hating on social media about how much they hate Esme, but they only hate her because Avery is doing a great job in the role of Esme. She is a great actress who belongs on the show, and every female needs on soap operas like Dynasty had Crystal and Alexis. Every female really needs a good antagonist, and she's a great foil for Trina. And that's another reason why I say Trina's also been elevated to a character who has increased. You know, she's much better than she was before. She's the most improved character because they even gave her a little nemesis in Esme. So she's a bona fide soap character now, like they would do anyone else. And after what Esme did with Spencer and knocking people out, and you know, and if she had her memory back, then it's off to jail she goes, and everything was going on. How are they going to try to make it some sort of twist or spin that Esme is not going to go to jail? How can she avoid that? I guess we'll see. Moving on to worst villain. And on General Hospital, when I thought about the villains, worst villain, I had to put none. They're all good. They're all good. Even Will Brennan, the new one, they're all good villains. This is one of the places that the show excels at. Most boring male. If you watch my reviews, this should not be a shocker to you. And as much as I love diversity on our shows, and you know, I don't want to complain about any black actors, but y'all know I hate me some Marshall Ashford, played by Robert Gossett, Emmy-winning Robert Gossett, who won an Emmy for the show. I hate Marshall. That shouldn't be a shock to nobody. And it's not the actor. It is the writing, which is why I'm glad the writers are gone. We get new head writers starting in March. So maybe, hopefully, the new writers will write Marshall in a way that I can actually like him and root for him. Because right now, every time he gets on my screen, I can't fast forward fast enough. Most boring female. Now, this really hurt me to my heart because this actress is one of my absolute favorite actresses on the show that I've been watching since the 90s. I actually been watching the show since the 80s, but she came on around in the 90s. And it's Rebecca Herbst, who plays Elizabeth Baldwin. Once again, not her fault. She is a really good actress. And she also, when she's given great material, is a masterclass in acting when she's given the right scripts. And right now, she's the most boring female, partially because the Finn and Elizabeth pairing is just boring. And there's nothing really exciting going on in their lives. Even this case that just came out of left field. I hate to say it, but the character is boring, not the actress. The hottest couple on General Hospital. Y'all gonna disagree with me on this one, but I put none. I can't really think of any couple that I can say is like the hottest couple. Now, there have been a couple of scenes that were, you know, very hot between Jocelyn and Dex, or romantic between Spencer and Trina, but there's nothing there. Being the hottest couple doesn't always mean hitting the sheets. You know, being the hottest couple is the most passionate couple, you know, along with, you know, scenes that are sexy and provocative. But hottest couple would be example would have been honestly Sonny and Brenda, or Jason and Sam when in their heyday before it petered out. And even Elizabeth and Jason, or Elizabeth and Nicholas, or just there have been a lot of hot couples. I even had scenes with Ava and Nicholas that were very hot. But right now, all the couples feel pretty cold to me. So not really feeling any hottest couples on the show. Moving on. Coldest couple. It's not Elizabeth and Finn, which in 2023, it probably would have been Elizabeth and Finn or Diane and Robert. But the couple I chose is Dante and Sam, because they have so much potential to be the hottest couple on the show, but we barely see them doing anything as far as being in a relationship. One of the biggest problems General Hospital has, and a lot of the other soaps have, is that they're not developing the couples once they're in a relationship. And there's a lot of people who just like the idea that two people are coupled up. But I grew up on shows like One Life to Live, where I enjoyed seeing Sam and Nora dancing. And on Days of Our Lives, Marlene and John are very romantic and loving and take time out to just, show how much they love each other. Him bringing her breakfast in bed, them going out to the bistro. Those are kind of things that we don't really see a lot of anymore in soaps. People just dating. But Elizabeth and Finn, they have gone out on a few dates, and they have gone to the cabin, and I can say they're trying. They're really trying to make Elizabeth and Finn a thing, trying to make Elizabeth and Finn work. Ain't working, but they're trying. Moving on, most heartfelt moment. I've got to go back to Bobby's Memorial Week, which wasn't that long ago, but they finally addressed the passing of Bobby, and they did a great job. It was only 2 episodes concentrating on her memorial, but leading up to the memorial, they had plenty of scenes of different characters remembering Bobby, aka Jacqueline Zeman, and I think they did a great job with that. And I also put a notation here that the return of Jason, I think, will be the next heartfelt reunions that we're going to be seeing. Moments that fell flat. I only put one because it annoyed the hell out of me. But Curtis surgery is working. I knew it was going to work because they weren't really doing anything with it not working. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it culminated how bad the whole storyline was written. Nothing to do with Donnell Turner, nothing to do with his acting, nothing to do with, anything other than the writing of how it was written. Best current storyline. I put 2. Nicholas, Spencer, Trina, and Esme versus Esme. That does have me glued to the TV screen and wanting to know what's going to happen next. Nina versus Carly and Drew. Plus, Valentine, Sonny, and Ava being part of that storyline. That also has my attention. To me, those are the 2 best. The other stories. Worst storyline, I picked 4. Surrogacy storyline. Even just the announcement that there was going to be a surrogacy storyline made me, this again. We've already seen this happen with Maxie and different characters and different shows. It's always the exact same result every time. Whoever's the surrogate is going to want their baby when the baby's born. So Christina actually having to use her real egg, meaning biologically it's her child with her sister's husband. How is that not going to be problematic? Whether if it was a stranger, okay, that's one thing, but how can Christina not get attached to the kid once the child is born, causing issues? Which I know soap opera's all about issues, but I really feel like I've been there, done that, and I don't feel like seeing that dragged out for another year or two, or however long the storyline is going to be. Hopefully the new writers will come in and nip this storyline in the bud and we can move on. The next word storyline, Maxie's unrealistic worrying about money. Maxie unrealistically worrying about money. Her mother is literally an Aztec princess. Her mother has plenty of money, even offered to give her money, and Maxie was like, no, no, no. Then they've got scenes, well, number one, Maxie's wardrobe is freaking horrible. But when they take it to the level of Maxie can't afford to buy her kids shoes, and she's choosing her pride over what's best for her children, makes a horrible storyline, because Felicia's got money, Max got money, Spinelli's got money, Sonny's got money. She's surrounded by people. Even Lucy and Sasha would help out. But why would you allow your kid not to have shoes that fit because you're too prideful to accept help? That's crazy. And that's not Maxie. That's not the Maxie I've been watching for the last 20 years or so. Third, the destruction of Drew. Like I said, not Cameron Matheson's fault, but when you've got him threatening to beat up Nina, it's not a good look for the character. It's not the character of Drew that we've all grown to know. And like I said, I think they're just doing this just to prop up Jason when he returns, to make it easier for Carly to run back to Jason. And Drew, I feel like Cameron Matheson not going to be on the show much longer after Jason comes back. We'll see. We'll see. Next would be Who Shot Curtis? It's still dragging on. Why are we still talking about this? What is a year later? Why are we here? It's ridiculous. So now we're going to just talk about really quickly, now that I've talked about the things I liked and disliked about the show, what my overall factors are in my final grading system for the shows. The acting, the writing, the use of legacy characters, and the use of diversity. Those are the four major factors which leads to my final grade for the show. And the way my grading system is an alphabetical rating system, whereas E is excellent, that's the highest you can get. A plus is great, but not the best, but not excellent. A minus is great, but something's missing. B plus is very good, but not great. B minus is good, but something's missing. C, it's okay, but needs improvement. D, it's bad, but still holding out hope it'll improve. And finally, F, total failure is the worst. At the end, if you decide to do a report card in the comment section, please use that grading system from E to F. What would you grade it? What grade would you give it? Now, before I give my grade, there's two things I want to talk about. First, the bad. Things that the show need to work on. The storyline's dragging. Hopefully, with the new head writers starting in March, they will not drag these storylines out for a year or two. They'll wrap up those old storylines and start some new stuff. So, but right now, storylines dragging on and on and on is something that drags down the grade as well. Developing relationships. We've got a lot of good couples on the show, but I don't feel like we ever see them doing anything. Throwing an axe is not fun for me to watch. It's not romantic for me to watch. Who thought of hatchet throwing? Really? Come on now. False diversity. So, like I said, use of diversity is one of the things I look at as a Black man. I look at representation of not just Black folks, but also other minorities on the show and see, are they given good storylines like all the other characters, or are they just there to check box a quota or check box, okay, so we got this person, we got that person. And this is where the show really falls flat, where it takes it away from the highest grade that I can give it, because the diversity is what I call false diversity, meaning you have minorities on the show, but using them, you just don't use them. So some shows are worse than others at this, and the worst one is Young and the Restless, but that's another report card for another day. But on Terry, the trans character, just like Epiphany before her relationship is completely off camera. We don't get to see anything that goes on with the character outside of maybe a yoga with Elizabeth or something, or she's usually brought on during sweeps, I noticed, or leading up to sweeps, just so that people who just kind of check in on shows they haven't seen in a while during sweeps, where things are supposed to be, really paying off, so lots starts to pay off. We don't know much about Terry, and that's a shame. But that's a checkbox checked off. Once again, Jordan, barely used. We have Curtis, barely used. Portia should be used more, but she's mostly complains about Spencer and Trina, or Spencer being with Trina. Then we've got Marshall, which I already said, I don't blame the actor, I blame the story. He won an Emmy, and I don't even know why. I don't even know why. But, he's another character that's barely used. Taggart. People are constantly asking for Taggart. Where's Taggart? So I'm not going to name all. At least they have minority characters. I'm hoping that the next set of head writers will actually use them and put them in good storylines. But for now, I feel like they're all diversity checkboxes, not characters created for the show to represent all different types of people. Like Selena Wu and Brad, they're the Asian characters on the show. We rarely see Selena Wu, and Brad's been MIA for a long time. So now, the good. What's good about the show? I put the first one is the acting is top notch. General Hospital has some of the best actors, if not the best actors, out of all four soaps. They have great actors. Even the actors I didn't name, like Jeannie Francis or her name's slipping my mind right now, Anna Devane. You know what I'm talking about. So, and I'll just say the character names, because sometimes people say, you don't really, I don't know who you're talking about when you just name the actors' names. Chase, Dante, Sam, Carly. There's so many good actors on the show. I think Portia is a good actress. She's not given the right material, but she's a good actress. Stella, a lot of people on this show. I could just keep Diane. I just keep naming characters. And I couldn't think of any characters that's on the show, except for maybe two, which I'm going to be nice and not name, that I think are bad actors. So you can figure out on the in the comment section if you want to try to guess who the two bad actors on the show are, out of like, what, 30, 40 actors, which is great, you know, because this is an A-list cast. I love everyone in this cast except for maybe two people. But anyway, moving on, because this is the good section. We got A-list actors, two use of legacy characters. You know, this show utilizes their legacy characters well, like bringing Lucy back and giving Lucy a real storyline. Tracy. Now, of course, I probably should have put in most underused actresses. I'm just thinking about this now. Should have been Olivia. Olivia, I love Lisa, and I watched her on Lovin' and followed her to the city, into the hospital, along with Laura Wright, and they did a great job. These are really good actors, really great actresses, and Lisa probably should have been in that category for underused, because I love me some Lisa, who plays Olivia. Moving on, the storylines are good. They just need to take too long to wrap it up. So General Hospital have some great ideas for storylines. They start off really well. They just drag on. But the fact that they have storylines I'm interested in and want to see is in the plus column for the show. Now, I'm going to give my grade. And this is where I know a lot of you will disagree. And mostly it's because of the non-usage of diverse characters. You know, that's something I even said in live. I'm like, I can't really shake that, like say, oh, the show is like just super great. It's the best. It's the best of the four soaps by far right now. But it irks me. The two major things that irk me is not using their diverse cast in storylines effectively, just sort of like writing for them during sweeps, and also the storylines just dragging forever. Those are the two things that take it out the A zone to the B, because I told the members on the live that I was thinking about A-, but I'm gonna go with B instead of the A- we discussed. So hopefully nobody's mad at me on the membership side. But just so you know, some members wanted to give it A+. So like I said, we're not going to agree on everything. But right now, General Hospital is a B. Well, I'm going to change that a little bit. I'm going to give it a B+. So that is my General Hospital report card. Once again, in the comment section, you know, do your own report card. Let us see what you would have done and what you would have graded it. And I will see you in the next video.